estate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but if I have if she sends me a copy of that, I'll plug it in. I didn't
Okay.
even think of that. Um,
Larry, did you get the link I sent you to the property? Sorry, it was like 5 minutes ago. I raced into the house 10 minutes ago to get on the call.
Well, yeah.
hey,
Larry's good.
uh, anyway, we are just moments away from having a good time here. Okay, we all set? We might as well get rolling here right now. Here we go. Is everybody smiling? Smile here at the beginning. We use one of these pictures.
Recording in progress.
Back to the old music. Welcome to another episode of the Exponential Files. I got to tell you, we are the only show on the eXp network that salutes, celebrates, and allows the successful agents at eXp to talk about what they do and how they do it. And today we have an awesome guest from Tallahassee, Florida. That's so hard to say. Anyway, Malissa Henning is in the Tallahassee area. Welcome aboard, Melissa.
You forgot about me. And
Oh,
by the way, I guess we're on the
I-
WEXP network or something like that. What would it be? We'll have a calling. What do they call it? Calling number.
our call
Calling
letters.
letters.
Yeah, yeah. I always forget that. My co-host is Jim Lowenstern, the well-known and respected.
You say it's my show, but meanwhile, I don't even get introduced.
I didn't introduce myself. The only one who got introduced is Melissa.
Okay.
And now everyone has clicked off. Nobody's
Larry
interested.
Walker.
Jim Lowenstern, Melissa Henning, and if you're still with us, this will actually be a pretty good show. We're talking about luxury listings. We're talking about individual skills that people have. One of the skills that Melissa speaks of, we all talk about what we have. I got good jokes. You should work with Jim because he's really smart about construction. Melissa is a strong negotiator. And how would you define, or why would your clients tell you that you're a great negotiator, Melissa?
I think because I don't, give up. I don't give in too soon. I encourage my clients to the same, and give them all the background as to why I think that we should negotiate for whatever we're negotiating for, whether it's repairs or whether it's, the price in the very beginning, or, we're negotiating from the beginning till almost the closing table, it feels like, with some transactions.
We have all been to a situation. Okay, so you say you've got some repairs. You had an inspection and some things showed up. So you need to negotiate that back and forth. That's a thing, but I want to get a little bit further than that, because negotiation is not just that. We're in real estate and we know it's an emotional kind of situation. What do you do? I'm just going to grill you here for a moment, if you don't mind. What do you do if you have the husband and wife who disagree about selling a property, about what the price should be? That's a whole kind of different deal. How do you deal with something like that? It's all negotiation.
Yeah, it's all negotiation. And I think everyone is different. You can't treat them all the same. And I think you've got to find the sticking points for each, or what speaks to the wife that may not speak to the husband, and vice versa. The husband may be all about the data and the wife is all about the showings, and I don't want anybody in my house, or, so I think it's going to each of them individually to negotiate why, this is what's best for for them to get the most money. If it's a seller, and if it's a purchase, buyers, you got to deal with them completely differently.
Well, if you have a seller that says, I don't want anyone in my house, is that something you walk away from and just say, well, you can't sell without, do you want to move out first and then allow people in, that's perfectly acceptable. Oh, you can't afford it. Well, what's holding you back from allowing people in? Maybe it's just the fear of having an open house where, the broker gets overrun and can't keep an eye on people running in different directions.
I think I've run into more where someone is very particular about pre-qualified buyers, more in that case of like, I don't want anyone in my house that can't buy my house. We run into that a lot in luxury. A lot of people want to go and see the luxury home just because it's down the street. It's beautiful. And I've driven by it every day and I want to see the inside, and so you'll have sellers who say, I don't want that. Well, then you have to negotiate and say, that neighbor may sell your house. They may know somebody. And so them getting in is important. And sometimes the seller will push back and sometimes they'll say, you're right. So that's a negotiation as well. Getting through that, all those points that they're coming up with and concerns.
Here's how that impacted me personally. There was a very famous football and modeling family that were in Boston and are now in Tampa Bay.
Who could that be?
And I don't know if both of them are in Tampa Bay right now. But anyway, I know the agent well who had the listing. And of course, in that kind of a listing, I think it was like 31 million. I think it sold for 26 million, something like that. But you had to show proof of funds to do it. And I called up the agent who I know very well. And I said, I'd like to tour it because I might have clients. And she said, bring your clients and I'll vet them. And nobody was allowed into Tom Brady's house. So
of course.
Same kind of thing, even for $1 million home.
Anyone, yeah.
Anyone can have the same, concern.
You protect your clients, they're, that's part of our code.
Absolutely.
I think the best book I've ever read about negotiation was written by an FBI guy, Chris Voss. It's Never Split the Difference. It's because he negotiated and if he lost, the person died. He was a hostage negotiator. Never split the difference because the difference can be death. It is a fantastic book, but you used one of the first principles of that is keep asking questions. Create a rapport, keep asking questions. And that's, well, why is that important to you? What makes that important to you? Why is this, do you understand this part related to that part? You get them to begin to think with you. And that it's a fantastic book. If you haven't read it, pick it up. Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference. You also talk, Melissa, about your great service. And everybody says they're great service. And every agent I've ever known at 8:50, 9:10 at night, and a client is calling you, looks at it and say, what service? I don't have any service now. I'm sorry, my phone's off. So how do you define great service?
I define it by really going above and beyond what I think my competition is doing in the market and what I know them to be doing. I offer free staging. I will do, light staging. I haven't gotten into a complete warehouse of furniture yet, but I do have a warehouse of bedding and knickknacks. But I will offer free staging. I will, be there in person for every showing if that's what they want. I never am going to balk at that. I just feel like I'm really hands-on and I present myself that way from the get-go, especially for sellers, that's kind of where I'm going to separate myself from the pack, is to go above and beyond. I'm going to bring in a handyman. I'm going to, even so far as take care of some of those repairs. If it's something small, I'm running and buying doorknobs and getting them replaced. My 16-year-old son is handy. He does things for me. I keep him on payroll. You know, those things that it's worth it to me in the end when you're talking about dealing in a luxury market to have less properties maybe, but really, I like to dig in. I like to really, I enjoy those kind of things. It's not a hassle to me to do those things for people. And I think it separates me because I do it with a happy heart, and I want to do it. And then you can really see the fruit of your labor when the photos are, you know, fantastic because it's staged versus when you look at some of your competitions, you know, photos and things.
Do you have any nice houses
We do.
listed right now?
We
Do
do.
I do. I have a
Let me
few.
g- let me
Just
g-
had several sell.
Yeah.
Are you already signed up on my workplace group, Castles Luxury?
Oh,
I
yeah.
am.
Okay,
Mhm.
so we're launching, well, we'll talk about it.
One of
after
them
this.
was featured on there already.
Well,
on
we're
your-
doing a page turning digital magazine.
Oh.
I've got that loaded. So
Look at that.
yeah, isn't
Where's
this
that?
this is
That's not
This is
Tallahassee,
in-
is it?
No, this is Alligator Point, Florida. It's about 45 minutes outside of Tallahassee on the Gulf Coast. This is kind of the Tallahassee playground, if you will. A lot of local people from Tallahassee, North Florida will own property in Alligator Point. We also have seen people from all over the country will come and buy here because it's very quiet, small.
does
you
a
know,
golf cart come with it?
no, but yes, it could. This could come, you know, it's all negotiable, completely furnished if they prefer.
Oh,
So it's a wonderful, quiet getaway, you know, not restaurants. I mean, really, there's a marina, there's boating, there's fishing, you're in you're completely out in the Gulf and it's right there.
how
And the
many-
marina is right on the other side.
did you say beds and baths? How many beds and baths here?
Yeah, this is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath with 2 flex spaces that used to be bedrooms. This family took down some half walls and created his and hers office on the upstairs that overlooks the Gulf. It's amazing
Oh,
spaces.
that's my
But
night.
someone could go back and make it easily a 6-bedroom if they chose to.
That's my
with 2 Jack and Jills upstairs.
That's my nightmare, to have a Jack and Jill office.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the bathroom, the bedroom, but Jack and Jill office. Anyway, that's really beautiful.
So this is hurricane season, and there's a tropical storm brewing that could end up in the Gulf. Obviously, this is built up on stilts. Has this weathered any storms so far?
This is actually one of the best selling points of this particular home. It is on, if not the highest, one of the highest elevations on Alligator Point, which is, it's not an island, but it, is virtually one little section connects it to Florida. But anyway, it's high elevation. This particular home has never seen water. They're known on the point. People will come and park their golf carts and kind of bring things to these couple of driveways because they know it's not going to get wet during a hurricane. Everything is, cement, footers, and completely reinforced metal roof.
Storm
hurricane
shutters,
clad,
storm
yeah.
roll down.
This does
gates.
not have storm shutters, but hurricane proof windows, all new, all replaced. Everything was upgraded in this house in the last 2 years.
Oh, there's
What
Down
does it
to
have?
the, non-toxic paint.
Is it all
and
electric, or
flooring.
is there gas? What are the utilities like?
There is a gas stove, electric fireplace. And then there's a gas, there's a whole house water filter, 2 updated appliances. Almost every inch of this house has been updated in the last 2 years. A couple bathrooms were already nicely updated, so they didn't change the vanities, but maybe change the showers.
So
What's-
the gas is what, propane?
The gas is gonna be natural gas.
Piped in natural gas.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And
Wow.
my final question before I let Larry ask his questions, septic or sewer?
This is on septic.
Septic, and it's public water, I'm guessing, not a well?
Yes, yes, public water, and they have a whole house water filter, filters out toxins, filters out viruses. It's like one of the,
Filters out the salt and the calcium.
yeah,
I
one of the
remember.
most high-end water filter systems you can get.
Nice.
I can guarantee you that the person who named this place, what is it, Alligator Point, was not a real estate person.
It's probably in the shape of an alligator.
It is kind of long and narrow, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's not the alligator itself, it's the shape.
Yeah, but in Florida, what are you first thinking of? I mean, I'm up here in New England.
I think it's kind of quaint. I like the name.
Yeah.
How much? Maybe
There
I
we
can
go.
afford it.
This is 2.1 million.
No, can't afford it.
What is the address again?
1407 Alligator Drive.
Alligator Drive.
All front. They just hatched some turtles, just hatched out front on the beach a couple weeks ago, made their way back to the ocean.
These are nice photos.
They've got a turtle watch.
I like the floors also. Is that actual wood or is it vinyl plank?
That is actual wood, non-toxic, chemical-free wood floors, non-toxic, chemical-free carpet.
And what's the deck? Is that poured?
It's a Trex, like a Trex material.
Well, that is, but the picture before it.
That is as
looking
well. Upstairs,
Oh,
there's an open air deck off the
So I don't see
second
the-
floor. And
bridge
sorry,
between the
that one's concrete.
Okay, yeah, that's what I look like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't fool you, Jim.
No, you can, but not this time. This is awesome. How many square feet?
2536.
Wow.
And that's
Feels a lot bigger than that.
So that's a 2-car tandem.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can be. Or yeah, that one has garages on both sides, so you can drive all the way through. And then the other side is open area where you could park your boat.
Okay, well, that was, yeah, so let's talk about boats. I see like a pathway down. Is there a dock or anything?
They do not have a dock on this property. If they did,
Mooring?
it would already be sold, because that's the one thing that you can't get on every property in Alligator Point.
What about moorings?
So no, you could not park your boat in the water, and you could, moment like for a little bit, but not
Drop
overnight or
anchor,
anything.
but you don't have a permanent mooring.
Exactly. But there's a marina, quarter of a mile down the road. A buyer, the best thing to do is get a spot at the marina, let them ice down your boat, get it ready, jump on, go fishing for the day, drop it off. They clean it. They take care of it. If you can afford that house, get a spot at the marina.
I am happy to say I got my first eXp referral. I don't know how it happened, but a really nice couple moving from St. Louis. I didn't show them any house. They bought the house and I showed up for the inspection, and it's on the water and has a dock. And talk about deals, $775 for a house that you could move into and not have to gut the whole thing with a dock. So
Where is that?
Weymouth, right on the Fore River, right by the bridge. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right in the open ocean.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes less.
Wow, that's surprising. That's
Quite
such
a deal.
That's
And
such
talk
a
about, you want to hear the negotiations? Because we started the show off with negotiations.
Sure.
Want to hear it?
Yeah.
$799 was the ask. And I'm thinking, all right, I'm looking for this house that you've got, Melissa. I mean, that's incredible. With a view and all that. And I know how few houses are on the water. And she wanted to be close to the water and everything. $799, she's saying, what are the comps? And there are no comps. I mean, how many houses like that come on, period?
Right.
So when the broker said he had an offer for full price, we had just made an offer of $715, trying to bring it down to like $750. And he came back and he said, well, they're going to take the other offer unless you can remove. I mean, basically, we went in and said cash, even though they were getting a mortgage. And he said, okay, he'll take 775 because he gets a better rate on his mortgage if he can have a P&S with no mortgage contingency. He said, so all you have to do is show me proof of funds. And that's when I had to say, of course, at that point, well, they've got proof of funds for the down payment. They've got the mortgage essentially all lined up. Oh, mortgage. Well, he called back 5 minutes later and said, that'll be fine. And I had to push them. 775, I said, you don't want to lose this over 25,000. In a market where it's hard enough to put anything under agreement, to put the only house with a dock, 14,000 square feet of land. I mean, they can put a swimming pool in this place. What a deal. And I think they're thankful that I had to push them.
Yeah.
I couldn't say to the other broker, we're calling your bluff, 775, take it or no, 750, take it or leave it. And the funny thing is, after the deal was negotiated verbally, she came back and she remembered I said, well, do you want to split the difference? Your book, Larry.
Yeah.
762.5. Do you want to lose this house over 12? She thought she got it for 762.5 and had to think about it for a minute. I said, you don't want to think about it. And said, okay. So now she's thrilled.
Yeah. Hey, stop slapping your table, please. Make your point like that. Yeah, it's in your face. That's great, though. That's
me. I'm always nervous on the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not like this in real life.
Oh man, no, you're actually not. So, Melissa, share with us. You've been in the business a little bit. Tell me the 3 things that you tell new agents they should or shouldn't do. You can go either way with that.
Should or shouldn't do. Okay.
These are new agents.
Okay. The first thing I always tell new agents is educate yourself.
Yeah.
Take the time, especially at the beginning when you're trying to get your business going and you're not busy in transactions like some of us get, and educate yourself with every which way. That's what I love about eXp is the amazing, choices of classes and anything you could possibly be interested in as far as our career goes. So that's the first thing I tell them is educate yourself. Tell them, what not to do is I don't know if this is right or wrong, but from the beginning, I probably tell them don't pay for leads at the very beginning. I think that, and I tell them you're going to get inundated with you're going to get on a list and you're going to get texts and call, and just initially, work your sphere, send out personal cards. Don't be a secret agent. Let everyone know you're in real estate and use your sphere because those people love you already. And so start there. So right. Don't pay for leads, educate yourself.
Right.
And what will my third be? And just, really using your resources and those around you. Like here in Tallahassee, we don't have a ton of eXp agents yet. So it's, we're having a meet and greet next week to try to get some of those agents together so we can use each other's resources and that's what I love about eXp. Everyone shares their
Well, now you have
knowledge.
a new thing to share. Free advertising.
Exactly.
Just have to have 3 really good photos, high res, quality photos, quality staging, quality property. I'm not saying it has to be over $1 million, but it has to look really good. It's got to be of value then. And we got a magazine. We're going to put together, 20, 40 pages to start with. Should have that ready out the door in the next week or 2.
And we find you on Workplace to do that?
Yeah, if you're an eXp agent. If you're not, I guess you just have to text or call me. Yeah. Castles, if you Google castles, I think we literally we pull up faster than anything else there. We're on page 1.
That's great.
So that'll be the name of the magazine. And then at a certain point, I'll probably do just high end for castles and have another magazine like Castles Unlimited, and then break off another one for Castles Commercial. So I'll have free advertising. I don't know how long it'll be free, but it'll be as long as I can keep juggling.
Hey, can I share that? What that looks like, Jim? I've got it loaded up here.
Yeah, I mean that was very rough. Let's share it next week. Well,
I'm already there.
yeah, I know.
Actually,
Because it's already been improved upon even this morning. Because
okay.
we have our first ad that we're laying out. Yeah, do it next week. Yeah.
We'll do it next week.
Look a little bit better.
It's in lorem ipsum dollar, and you know that from marketing. That's like I have nothing to say here, so
that
I'm
was
saying
just, that was just the layout. One big picture, too small.
It is reminiscent of a number of high-end luxury things that used to be actually had to print them at a high cost. Now it's a internet magazine.
And it's print on demand. I mean, if somebody, Melissa, you wanted to print it out, and like in my office, we have color laserjet printers, and we put together brochures in house. Can be done.
The thing is about marketing. I mean, people talk, especially luxury marketing. Let's join in with this, Melissa. Luxury marketing and the words that you use is different than regular marketing. What their expectation is, where luxury people are looking. You're not going to find most of your luxury, from my experience, you're not going to find most of your luxury people on Facebook, but you will find them on LinkedIn. So what's going on in Tallahassee in relation to that? Do you just Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter? How do you promote?
Yeah, I think those same way, Google ads, posting on Google, posting on Instagram, trying not to put the same things on every site, and try to vary it a little bit. So in case someone looks, you up in 4 places, they don't see the exact same content. Doing our, big thing here is, these amazing videos and drones and all of that. I think that's what really buyers want to see. Sellers love it. And I like to go above and beyond and catch, drone shots of the area as well, or the community, the tennis court, the entrance, the beautiful, flower, whatever it is.
By the way, your pictures are beautiful for that house. When you do your MLS listing, or do you have a blog that you link the listing off of?
I don't have a blog.
Okay.
I'll
do you have a picture of the marina?
No, I don't.
I would do that, because you're gonna catch the eye of a person that owns a yacht, and they're gonna say, "Wow, I can literally ride my bike to my boat."
Yeah.
And I understand why you don't, because I lived in Florida. I understand this. I lived on the beach side, but we were on the Intracoastal also. And so that's the Intracoastal side is where you'd have the mooring. You're not protected out in the ocean. I was looking at that beach, and it's quite a distance from the house, but at storm surge, that boat's going to be in your living room.
Yeah, we have further down Alligator Point, there's a number of lots that are called beach to bay. So there are beach houses on the one side, and then you cross the street and they have a dock and their boat.
Mar-a-Lago.
So that is a very popular thing on Alligator Point, but historically those houses are in the lower elevation, so they do flood. And
what do those houses go for?
They'll go in the low millions. It all depends. And a lot of Alligator Point's not been updated yet. Real quaint, older beach homes, real traditional.
So is everyone allowed to take their house that it is now and raise it up, or there's certain limitations?
I believe they're all allowed to do that, and they're not
Yeah.
all raised up yet, though. But that beach to bay is definitely very popular, and to the point where some people say, I know it might flood. That's a risk I'm willing to take because I want to be able to have, my boat right across the street.
Can you get flood insurance for that house?
Yes.
Are you required if you got a mortgage?
Not for this one,
No?
from what I understand, no.
Huh.
Very nice.
Huh. That's awesome. Hey, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, Melissa, how would they do that? How do we get in contact with you?
You can find me on Instagram at melissa.henning. I'm on Facebook.
Hey, Melissa is spelled differently.
Melissa with an A, Malissa.
Yeah.
Melissa.Henning on Instagram. I'm Malissa Henning Realtor on Facebook. I dabble in TikTok. I'm not really too into that yet. And then, LinkedIn as
Is
well.
alligatorpoint.com still available?
I don't know.
Well, you'll be checking soon.
That's a good idea.
A lot of money sitting there for you to. Do you live near that property?
I do. I'm about 45 minutes away,
Okay.
so not bad.
Yeah, it's a
That's
nice.
right. That's
nice,
right across the
place
street
to-
in Texas.
Very nice.
Anyway, it is an absolute pleasure to have you as our guest today, Melissa. And we're thrilled that you're part of the eXp world. You're listening. You're listening to the Exponential Files. Join us next week. We've got a great show. Another Florida agent. Lots of good ones there.
Oh, great. Thanks again for joining us, Melissa. Are we playing us out with music?
I just did. You didn't hear
That was
it?
it?